So let's watch a little video of Austin Tice. Now, Austin Tice is from Houston, Texas. This is an American. He's a journalist who went to Syria to cover the Civil War in 2012, and he's been in captivity for the past 12 years. And you have the parents who say that they have evidence that he is still alive, and then you have the Biden administration that says they will presume that he is still alive. So they will act under the presumption that he is still alive, and they will go out and search him, search for him, to try to find out where he is, what he, to rescue him, to bring him back to the United States. Now, this lady says that the video is total bullshit and don't even believe it. So here he is. He's in Syria. This is him doing one of his reports. So this is Austin Tice, and what we're hearing is that because of the fall of Assad and the rise of Jelani, that we're going to get Austin Tice back. So will we get Austin Tice back? I'm not for sure. I'm going to make a couple more comments about him, and then maybe some more comments about some of the rest of the stuff too. So, Austin Tice is an American journalist. Austin Tice goes to Syria during the Civil War, and Austin Tice did not return. We've seen these videos a whole bunch of times, right? We've seen these videos a whole bunch of times. And I'm just running with it. I got this information, so this is hotcakes. So you have Joe Biden expressed hope on Sunday that the journalist, who is 43 years old, we think we can get him back, but we have no direct evidence of that yet. So Austin Tice is alive. Mark and Deborah Tice, his parents, they say otherwise. They say that they do have evidence. Austin Tice is alive in Syria. It's time for him to come home. We're eagerly anticipating seeing him walk free, and we're asking anyone who can do so to please assist Austin Tice to safely return to our home. So Austin Tice, his work was being published by the Washington Post, McClatchy newspapers, and other outlets. The video released weeks after Austin Tice went missing showed him blindfolded, held by armed men, and saying, "Oh Jesus." He has not been heard from since. Syria has publicly denied that it was holding him. Deborah Tice's mother said at a news conference in the day that Austin Tice is alive, being cared for, and he is well. She said the information was from a significant source that had been vetted by the U.S. government. Mark Tice's father said that the new information is very different from the past leads. We are confident that this information is fresh. It indicates as late as earlier this year that Austin is alive and cared for. So I'm going to talk about the greater geopolitical situation of what's going on in Syria. This shit's a fucking mess. It's a quagmire. You got all these competing rebel forces. There is no consistency. Which one's for the Constitution? Which one's for, the three branches of government? The independents? Which one's actually gives a damn about the Syrian people? How many Syrian people are still left? They've been getting bombed, left and right all over the place for the past 12 years or so. So the Syrian Free Army, so the SFA, now we'll go with the Syrian Free Army. Assad's regime is going to collapse, right? So just like the Biden regime had collapsed, just like Genocide Joe's regime had collapsed, taking control of the city of Palmyra. So the Syrian Free Army goes on the offensive. They control the city of Palmyra. The Syrian Free Army works closely with the United States. Its financing is run out of Jordan. What? So we're giving money to Jordan, or they got money from Jordan, and you got both Jordan and American financiers. Is this the Pentagon? Is this the CIA? Is this the ATF? Is this the FBI? Who is this? Is this the Air Force? Is this the EPA? Is the EPA getting into the... Is this some agency that the Department of Energy? So Jordan and America is financing the Syrian Free Army. The Syrian Free Army has close ties to the Jordanian intelligence. But the U.S. holds vast amount of territory in Syria via its allies. So it's not just the Syrian Free Army who joined a race to replace the Assad regime as its soldiers abandoned villages and cities en masse. The U.S.-backed rebels operating out of the Al-Taf desert outpost on the tri-border area of Jordan, Iraq, and Syria. So we have the Syrian Free Army, okay? You got the Jordanian Syrian Free Army, but you also have the Syrian Democratic Forces. So you got SFA and the SDF. And then you got the PKK, the Kurdistan Workers' Party. How do all these work together? Well, a lot of people are saying that Turkey is coming out of this thing looking like, a diamond. So Assad's ouster has seen NATO ally Turkey cement its status as the main outside power in Syria at the expense of the bruised and battered Iran and Russia. In northeastern Syria, the U.S. has roughly 900 troops embedded with the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. Wasn't that the big thing? We can't get out of Syria because there's going to be a massacre of the Kurds. We got to care about the Kurds. We invaded Iraq because there was the gassing of the Kurds. Why is there not a Kurdistan? Well, Turkey doesn't want a Kurdistan. So America has 900 troops that's a part of the Syrian Democratic Forces. Well, that's interesting, right? We have our troops are a part of the Kurdish troops. Now, this is important for Turkey because Turkey hates the Kurds. So America's support for the Syrian Democratic Forces, the 900 troops, the money embedded with the Kurdish-led, is a sore point with its ties to Turkey. Turkey hates the Kurds. Turkey doesn't want a Kurdistan. And so America's supporting the Syrian Democratic Forces in Turkey. America and Turkey are opposed, right? Turkey says, fuck the Kurds. America says, no, we got to protect the Kurds. So Turkey views the Syrian Democratic Forces as an extension of the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK. Now, the PKK has waged a decades-long guerrilla war in southern Turkey. So I can kind of understand, but, why don't you give them their own fucking country? It's labeled a terrorist organization, not just by Turkey, but by America too, and the European Union. So this is incredible. So we support the Syrian Democratic Forces, but we're also saying that the PKK are terrorists. Turkey is saying that the SDF is tied to the PKK, and I assume that America is saying, no, it's not. No. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you talk? No. Are the Kurds not people too? Are the Kurds not people too? What is Erdogan, the fucking leader of Turkey? What's his problem with fucking Kurds? What was Saddam Hussein's problem with the Kurds? The PKK, in that Peshmergan? The PKK has waged a decades-long guerrilla war in southern Turkey. It is labeled a terrorist organization by the U.S. and European Union. Turkey's concerns about the PKK led it to launch an invasion of Syria in 2016 with the aim of depriving Kurdish fighters of a quasi-state along its border. 2 more military forays followed in 2018 and 2019. Now we have Gilani. So I got some of his background. Al-Jilani wasn't always known as Al-Jilani. He was born in 1982. He used to be called, his maiden name was Ahmed Al-Shara. And so everybody's going along with Gilani. He's been made over and repackaged and rebranded, and re-gifted about 20 different times. First he was ISIS, and then he wasn't. Can I finish without a drink of water? I don't know. So he was born, I heard that he was born in the Golan Heights, but then I heard that his parents were born on the Golan Heights, and then he was born in Saudi Arabia. So exactly where was he born? Nobody knows, All this stuff matters because Donald Trump says, why are we getting into this? People are saying that the genocide Joe Biden regime, he's just a dictator, just trying to pass the geopolitical situation on to the next emperor, the next regime, the next dictator emperor. The authorization to use military force is total fucking bullshit. I have no idea why we're still doing a war on terror if we're going to allow Al-Qaeda and ISIS to take fucking Syria over and then pretend that we're all excited about that. Assad is toppled, right? So It's between a rock and a hard place. If syphilis conquers chlamydia, if gonorrhea conquers syphilis, celebrate the downfall of syphilis, but are you going to celebrate gonorrhea? Man, gonorrhea fucking killed syphilis. There is no more syphilis. Gonorrhea is victorious. So I have a lot of hope and opportunity. I hope that this opens a brand new door to Syria. I have a lot of hopes for Syria. Now that they're being run by gonorrhea, everything is just going to be fine and dandy. Do they care about the three branches of government? Do they care about constitutionalism, the Bill of Rights? What are they going to do with the women? What are they going to do with the Christian populations? Do they believe in the Establishment Clause? Do they believe in a separation between church and state? So al-Shara is Jelani. And then Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is HTS. So you're going to hear HTS a bunch because he runs HTS. Hey, I'm not ISIS. What are you, HTS? I'm not Al-Qaeda. I'm not al-Shara running Al-Qaeda. I am Jelani running HTS. But you used to be, it used to be, sure, but everybody changes. You know, people can change, like Rocky says. We can change, we can change. That's what the criminal justice system in America is all about. Based upon that a man can change, right? He robbed a bank, he does his 5 years, he's welcomed with wide open arms in America. Come back here, we absolutely love you. We're going to make sure our meritocracy works. You get a job, you got the good ideas, you'll make it to the top. Al-Shar's early life was emblematic of the aspirations of the Arab middle class. His father, a prominent economist, and his mother, a conservative geography teacher, moved the family to Saudi Arabia before returning to Syria in 1989. Jelani was born in Saudi Arabia to Syrian parents from the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights and was raised in Damascus. Following a brief interlude in Syria where he narrowly avoided imprisonment during a crackdown on fledgling jihadist cells, al-Shar returned to Iraq in 2005. This time he joined a small insurgent group aligned with al-Qaeda in Iraq. AQI, captured in 2006 while planting a roadside bomb. He spent 5 years in a U.S. military prison, including Abu Ghraib and Camp Bucca. By the time he was released in 2011, Ahmad al-Shara had become Abu Muhammad al-Jelani, a battle-hardened operative with a vision. So there you go. He was in Syria, he goes to Iraq, he fights against American occupation in Iraq in 2005. He joins a small insurgent group aligned with Al-Qaeda in Iraq and captured in 2006. He was planting a roadside bomb. Then he goes to Abu Ghraib. And then was he radicalized in the Abu Ghraib or was he being tortured? Did America get his ear and then, put a suit on him and say, hey, wait, he's okay now? A man can change. A man can change. We're not just fucking people over for their entire lives and just dumping them into fucking jail and saying, there you fucking piece of shit, fuck your life. That's not what we're doing. We're not saying, all right, prison guards, go ahead and jail that jaywalker. Go ahead and rape the shit out of that jaywalker. That guy fucking jaywalked? Well, you need to rape the shit out of him. That's what the fucking police in prisons, that's what they're doing. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So you might get shanked by an inmate, and then you're getting a PhD in criminology, right? So, oh, you're a jaywalker. We went ahead and attacked you, and we got to pretend that we're not the fucking bad guys, so we got to fuck you the fuck over and say, hey, we're a bunch of lies and a bunch of lies, and then they believe our fucking lies. And now you just took a jaywalker, and you made them a fucking criminal fucking PhD. You gave them a PhD in criminology. He also got shanked in prison, so I guess that's just, hey, you're toughing him up, right? You're watching, and then make sure he gets raped too. I guess, what's the raping? How does that help? So he was jaywalking. You'll never fucking jaywalk ever again. That'll teach you from jaywalking. Who did jaywalking hurt? It didn't hurt anybody. It's also not illegal in Louisville. But that's what the LMPD does in fucking Louisville. It's how America fucking operates. We're a very individualistic culture. Somebody gets shot in the streets, nobody gives a shit. Everybody's freaking out about the New York fucking city shooting. And meanwhile, you got, shootings that just happened all over the place. There's one in Houston. There's one in Cincinnati. There's one in San Francisco. Specifically, you had Uzziah Shell, a 16-year-old who got killed in New Haven, Connecticut. Uzziah Shell got killed in Connecticut. And then you also had Daly Jackson, right? Not weekly, not monthly, but Daly Jackson, 17-year-old. And they were a part of the violence interrupters. They weren't part of the gang violence. They were they were innocent students going out and about and saying, hey guys, stop the violence. Violence doesn't solve the problems. And then they fucking got shot in a drive-by shooting. They got too close to the fucking situation. They got too close to the gangsters. And those fucking gangsters, well, that's the perfect crime, right? The goddamn cops in the courts, they'll fucking rape a goddamn jaywalker. That's the most important crime of the century. But a fucking outright murder? I feel like we're wasting so much fucking talent. We are wasting so many fucking people's lives pretending that this fucking bullshit system works. How many of these people that are innocent that you turned into fucking, killers, you're not going to get raped in prison for 5 years and then turn out fine? If anything, you did nothing to nothing had happened, nobody got injured, you're a nice, peaceful person, and then you got beat up, and then you got beat up for another 5 years, and that was supposed to help you? How the fuck was that supposed to help anybody? America doesn't give a shit. America doesn't fucking care. The wealthy and the rich, they got gated communities. The cops always fucking protect their shit. So if they have to take out a couple fucking poors, take out a couple working class, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. So a small insurgent group aligned with Al-Qaeda in Iraq, 2006. Let's see here. In the wake of Syria's burgeoning uprising shortly afterwards, al-Shara, now Jolani, reconnected with the Abu Muslim al-Turkmani, a prominent figure he had befriended during their time in U.S. detention. Turkmani, who had since become the governor of Nineveh under the Islamic State, was one of the few who knew Jolani's Syrian roots. Together they revisited discussions from prison about the potential for jihad in Syria. Yeah, all those innocent people that's being killed in Gaza. They could cure cancer. They could create new fucking products. They could create new inventions. They could become the police. They could actually go after the fucking murderers. They could become the fucking court system. I mean, these pieces of shit, these stupid-ass criminal motherfuckers. You got criminals in the government who's sitting there taking innocent people and making criminals out of them. Well, they got to assign their fucking either a conscience, which they don't have a conscience. I think they're just sick motherfuckers, right? If goddamn gangsters was to kidnap a person and rape them for 5 fucking years, and then they say, hey, we did it for your own good. Well, you shouldn't have crossed the street like you did. We don't like how you crossed the street. Next time, cross the street better. There's no fucking crosswalk anywhere. It doesn't matter. You better cross the street better. People are fucking bullshit, man. And it's fucking bullshit how Americans don't give a fuck about each other. It's fucking bullshit. August 2011, Jolani had crossed into Syria with 6 trusted fighters, laying the groundwork for what would become Jabhat al-Nusra, a secret Syrian affiliate of the Islamic State of Iraq. Al-Baghdadi, according to his group's own account, years later split their resources between the two groups equally. 2013, Jolani formally pledged allegiance to Al-Qaeda after the Iraq group unilaterally announced a merger between the two groups under Baghdadi's sole rule. To avoid the technicality of abandoning a pledge of allegiance, a bayat to Baghdadi, Jolani argued his ultimate oath was owed to Al-Qaeda's overall leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri, and before him, Osama bin Laden. Hey guys, I didn't abandon my pledge to Baghdadi. I pledged to bin Laden, okay? I love bin Laden now. I don't love Baghdadi, I'm loving bin Laden. This is the guy that we are supporting in Syria. How do we have a war on terror? How do we have a war on Saudi Arabia and Al-Qaeda? The so-called war on terror goes after Iraq, goes after Afghanistan. We got an occupation in Iraq. We just bombed some people in Iraq. And the occupation in Afghanistan, Taliban came right back in. Yeah, fucking great fucking $1 trillion well spent there, America. Smart. You got $1 trillion to fucking take over the world and blow everybody up, but you don't have a fucking penny for the housing for the homeless? Motherfuckers are fucking sick. This is a fucking sick fucking country. Jolani argued his ultimate oath was owed to al-Qaeda's overall leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri, and before him, Osama bin Laden. Syrian conflict dragged on. Jolani's ambitions began to diverge from al-Qaeda's global agenda. In 2016, he formally severed ties with the organization, rebranding his group as Jabhat Fatah al-Sham, and then later merging it with the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham HTS. While critics saw the rebranding as cosmetic, it allowed Jolani to present HTS as a Syrian-focused organization, distancing it from the transnational jihadist label. By 2017, Jolani had consolidated power within HTS, emerging as its undisputed leader. Under his command, the grouping adopted a more pragmatic approach. HTS, which has roots in al-Qaeda, is considered a terrorist organization by the United States. Jolani said in an interview with PBS in 2021 that he fought for al-Qaeda in Iraq during the American occupation. Jolani said he was arrested by American forces and held for more than 5 years in several detention facilities, including Abu Ghraib and Camp Bucca. So he ain't ISIS no more. He ain't al-Qaeda no more. He's a nice guy. He's a pragmatist. Hey, I'm not ISIS. I'm HTS. It's me, Jeff. It's me. What's from the Waco? What did what did he say in Waco? Hey, it's me, Jacob. It's me, Jacob. But I'm cool. John Leguizamo.